Well, on that same vein, I'm going to recite a poem that I wrote back in the 90s, and I actually converted it into a song. It's one of our more successful songs in the trio that I play in with Dennis's brother-in-law. Where is he? Anyway, it goes like, it's called Spare Change Chief. And the way it happened was, there was a chap standing on the corner of Granville and Georgia on a very, very cold November day. I remember it vividly. And he had his hand out. And I was just coming away from a lunch, probably dressed in, I don't know, $500 suit or something. And I really, to this day, regret that I never gave him a penny. And I walked upstairs to my office and I wrote down these words, just like that, straight out. And afterwards I thought to myself, you know, I better go down, tip that guy because he's just given me a poem. And I went down and he wasn't there. So, to my eternal shame, he never got anything for his poem. But it goes like this, and forgive me if I get, you know, if I forget a little bit because it's a long time since I recited it. I'll give it to you in the song format because it makes better sense that way. It starts off with the chorus, which is, trying to make a nickel from nothing, trying to make a dollar from a dime. It's easy when you're sitting on the sidewalk and the only thing you own is time. Granville Street is frozen and the trees have lost their leaves. Runaways stand in little groups with joints hidden up their sleeves. A grey old lady with a shopping cart squeaks by for the 7th time while you stand in your t-shirt shivering, saying, buddy, can you spare me a dime? Trying to make a nickel from nothing, trying to make a dollar from a dime. It's easy when you're standing on the sidewalk and the only thing you own is time. A man walks by in an overcoat, just came from a business lunch. He makes 100 grand a year or more, that's just a hunch. You call out, sir, if you have some change, I sure wouldn't mind a bit. But he walks on by with his head held high, and you feel like a useless shit. Trying to make a nickel from nothing, trying to make a dollar from a dime. It's easy when you're sitting on the sidewalk and the only thing you own is time. Maybe when the weather gets warmer, you'll head up north again, back to your family's cabin in the woods by the river's bend, back where the campfire's burning and the salmon smokes on the rack, and your mother's loving arms just say, son, we're so glad you're back. Trying to make a nickel from nothing, trying to make a dollar from a dime. It's easy when you're sitting on the sidewalk and the only thing you own is time. Can I give you one more? Please. So, I don't know how many of you know the history of Africa and the great rush for colonialism and so on and so forth. There was a fellow by the name of Cecil John Rhodes, whose lasting legacy is the Rhodes Scholarship Prize Fund that he set up very, very foresightedly, in my opinion, back over 100 years ago. And all these people that go to Oxford, about 100 a year now go, and all paid for fully. So that was his legacy, but he had another legacy, which the black people of Africa regard as not quite as benevolent as the Rhodes scholars think about him today. And there was a country that was actually named after him. It was called Rhodesia, which is today Zimbabwe. And at the time of that handover to the new government, Mr. Mugabe, who's still in power, believe it or not. I thought someone would have shot him by now, but they just like they did in Iraq, they hauled his statue down, and from the main street. And I happened to be going by at the time, and I thought to myself, this is amazing. This is something that's got to be written down. So I went home and immediately, again, these things that really work, you get them down in like one go. So here it goes. And I'm not trying to be political or anything. This is nothing like that at all. It's about the man. And it goes, they tore down Rhodes' statue on the street named for Michelle, amongst the paler population that was bound to raise some hell. A group of proletariat raised sticks in pent-up rage and beat upon his upturned feet, the founder of an age. They hurled abuse, criminal, exploiter of the mass, the kind of words one gets to learn when reading Moscow's task. And then, like some huge phoenix, he rose from his long reign against a modern skyline at the end of a 10-ton crane. But were you all, they said, you were just out for one damn thing, the tribute and the glory of an ancient queen or king? Or were you but a dreamer whose dreams got out of hand with visions of an empire from Cape to Egypt's sand? And now you lie entombed in rot, your memory disgraced. All your dreams have come to naught, the blueprints all misplaced. But one day in the future, they'll leave their self-made cage, accept you then for what you were, the founder of an age. That's it.